Hi, Richard Hemming, Under the Radar Report. Great to be with you. With 30 June coming up, it's time to talk about taking profits. And from my experience, it's never been wrong to take profits, even if it felt bad at the time. And let me tell you, I've done it well and I've done it not well, but each time it was probably the right thing to do. With CommSec being the leading retail broker for Australian investors, I cannot go past talking about the elephant in the room. What is that elephant? SpaceX, whose IPO is bearing down upon us all. So a good way of looking at the SpaceX IPO is last year's IPO of Guzman y Gomez. GYG is the ticker, if you don't know. So what might tacos have to do with space? A lot, as it turns out. The free float was relatively small, with GYG 15%, SpaceX 3 to 4%. There was a lot of pent-up demand and big aspirations. That's right. Big demand, big aspirations. It was all a heady mix. What happened? GYG float's price is $22, famously jumped 36% on the first day. For trading at over $40, almost doubling in the first 6 months. Now, fast forward to today, well, it's recently traded as low as $15 and it's rebounded to $18 as I speak. So, and that was off news. It was backing off from those growth aspirations in the US. This is not necessarily that unusual. It's happened before, it'll happen again. Famously, AMP listing back in 1998, it opened at $45, closed at $17, never traded at those prices again. That's right. So taking profits into the hype was clearly the right strategy. Is that the end of the story? Well, SpaceX has an issue price of US $135 and much more than a thin float going for it. There is definitely demand. Definitely demand. Bitcoin's falling through the floor as investors try to switch into SpaceX. It's amazing. So there is the Musk factor, where a strong argument can be made for investor sainthood with this man. This is a literal moonshot from Elon. Not surprising. But what about the fundamentals, I hear you ask? Well, at a US $1.7 trillion valuation based on the IPO price, trades on 100 times, not earnings, revenue. So that's pricey by any measure. But one profitable business is the satellite internet provider Starlink. This is an amazing business. They've got like 8,000 or something satellites up there. Nobody else is in the same ballpark. Plus, their big cargo rockets, these Falcon 9s, can push up like 50 to 100 of them regularly to maintain that lead. So they've got an unassailable leadership in wireless. Like it's certainly not something to sneeze at. The second business, the rocket launching one, well, they subcontract and they do it themselves, but that so far is mainly useful from an earnings standpoint for Starlink. But the real growth option is XAI. Everyone knows, well, that's the biggest revenue writer, but it is loss making. About $500 million a month, I think, or something like that. This business includes X, or Twitter, as it used to be called. And XAI is like a response to OpenAI. With large language models and data centers to boot. I almost forgot that index funds are locked into buying this float. That was part of the NASDAQ deal. So there's a strong case to be made for the stock doing well in the short term. There's a very strong case. But back on Earth, there's also a strong case to be made for taking profits. I mean, you need to think about the many sizable investors that are already invested. There have been several big private placements in recent years at much lower valuations. So whatever the stock does, they'll have done a lot better from the get-go. So it's like starting a race from well behind. The other point to make is that every investment theme ever, whether it's lithium a couple of years ago or it was going to the moon, like it was going to be the answer to the battery powered world, it was the answer to everything, whether it's gold, whether it's silver, when they go completely crazy, whether it's uranium, there always comes a point of reckoning. And right now, this could be with Bitcoin. Who knows? But even if everything operationally goes right, it goes swimmingly, you're talking about earnings that are so far away that it's like a tremor in the economics today is analogous to a butterfly wing causing an earthquake. Like, this is a very precarious investment case, no matter which way you look at it. So out of this, remember 3 points. 1, you cannot go broke taking a profit. 2, you don't have to sell your whole position. You can let your profits run. We do it all the time. 3, a calm mental state is everything. I'm telling you, taking profits is good for your sleep. It is. Let me tell you, it's good for your sleep. So good night, sleep tight. Signing off, Richard Hemming from Under the Radar Report.